growing up as the only girl in the family, my dad didn't show very much affection towards me. And so as I grew older in my teenage years, I started looking for that attention. But of course, I was finding it in different ways, in boys and even men. I had crushes on men when I was a teenager. But I started acting out on sexual activities when I was 16. Got my first kiss when I was 15, and it just escalated from there. I would get into a relationship, and then when the relationship ended, I would go into another relationship, and it just went like that until I was about 49 years old. And I grew up in the church, so I automatically thought that I was a Christian. And I'm sure that I said the sinner's prayer and stuff when I was a kid. But one day, and I cannot tell you the date, but just one day, I decided I'm going to start living for Jesus. Even though I knew of him, I did not really know him. So that was, like I said, when I was 49. And now that I'm 59, God did answer the prayer that I prayed that day and asked him to please take that desire away from me until I was either married again or I would never have that desire again. God has fulfilled that prayer for me. I'm not saying that I don't get lonely and I don't struggle, because we all do. We all struggle with worldly things, and I have to be very careful what I watch on TV. I have to be very careful what songs and things I listen to, because it can strike up feelings inside. So I just avoid those things. And people think I'm crazy because I don't watch regular TV or anything like that. But, everybody has their own way of dealing with temptations, and that is my way. And I never knew what true love was until I heard a message from Dan Mohler. And he really, in his message, showed me what true love was. So in my life, have I been married? Yes. I have children? Yes. But I believe in my heart that because every single relationship that I have been in was intimate, that there was actually no true love. No one really wanted to know me for me. They wanted to know me to get whatever they could get from me. And, and now that I am a full-blown Jesus lover, you can't find good Christian people to have relationships with where I'm from. I'm sure they're out there somewhere, but I personally have not found anyone that could fit. I will not lower my standards because of loneliness. That's one thing that will not happen. But, I struggle. Not a lot. And so when those temptations do come, what's the scripture that says, submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee? So, we either have to pray and ask God to help us during that time, or we have to step up and have integrity and say, okay, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to watch this. I'm not going to listen to this. I'm going to stand strong, and I can do this with the Lord's help. So we have to do things like that. If we don't, the devil will crack the doors and say, peekaboo, peekaboo, and throw little things at you until the door is wide open, and then you can't shut it. Without the Lord, you cannot shut it, because it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. But believe you me, if Jesus can help me get out of whoredom, He can also help you get out of that. It's not always easy. It wasn't easy for me, but it's a lot easier now. But just believe and trust the Lord and be careful for your temptations, because the temptations will get a hold to you. That's the hardest part. But remember that Jesus was tempted above all measure, just like we are. And He is there to help us. So I'm just asking you to just submit to the Lord. Love Him. Because why? Because He first loved us.